No new wars under President Trump. That was one of the biggest accolades of his first administration, 2016 to 2020. Under President Trump, we didn't have any new wars. We brought up that under Bush, obviously, Iraq war. Under Obama, we dealt with Afghanistan, and we also dealt with Russia, I believe, taking Crimea in 2014. I think they took Georgia in 2008. But under Trump, the world seemed a bit more calm, and that was one of the accolades that he often received. And one of the things folks supporting him cited as a reason why they favored re-electing Trump. So no new wars. So we're going to ask that question. Now that we got him back in office 2024 to 2028, do you think he'll be able to repeat that? Do you think that under his second term, we will continue having little to no wars and we'll have a global calm under his term? Now, keep in mind, since he's taken office, the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis has calmed down quite a bit. And of course, the same could be argued with the Ukrainians and the Russians because they're in negotiations as well. So what do you think? You think that this is the right guy to keep the planet at peace? Now, we're going to bring up this for one reason. He is now accusing Vladimir Zelensky of the Ukraine as starting the war. Now, this sounds like liberal fear-mongering or speculation, but that is a quote. He said he started it. I don't know what would make him say that. I'm assuming most global leaders have no clue either, because the Russian invasion of the Ukraine wasn't something that just happened. It literally built up. We had it under surveillance. Biden was talking about this on the world stage, and most of the players in the region know what the hell happened. So I don't know what Trump is trying to suggest when he states that Zelensky and the Ukrainians started the war, other than he's speaking maybe friendly for Vladimir Putin. So I would like to get your opinion on that. Any idea why he would be trying to suggest that Zelensky and the Ukrainians started the war? Why would they attack Russia? What would be the goal of going into Russia and attacking that country? So I'd love to hear from you folks about that. Also, in addition to accusing the Ukrainians of starting the war, he then also tweeted out that they quote unquote, convinced America to give them, I believe he said either $250 or $350 million to fight an unwinnable war. So he is essentially saying that America was convinced by Zelensky to give them money so that they could go fight an unwinnable war. As if the region was peaceful, Zelensky came to the Biden administration, asked for money. I got this plan. We're going to go into Russia and take the bitch over with. Something like that. That's how Trump tweeted that out. Now, listen, I'm following some of the right-wing outlets like Bill O'Reilly and some of them folks. They're saying that Trump was taken out of context. I'm assuming you've heard that before, right? Trump was taken out of context. But not only did he accuse them of starting the war, but then he tweets this out that Zelensky came and convinced the United States. So he is blaming the Ukrainians for starting that war. It's not taken out of context. He is blaming them for doing it. And now he is negotiating with Putin, and the Ukrainians are complaining that we're not even present at this. How are you negotiating on our behalf without us around? So I want to ask you folks from a standpoint of no new wars under the Trump administration. Do you believe that will happen again? Keep in mind, we're just talking about the Ukrainians and Russians right now. He's also talking about taking over Gaza and turning it into the Riviera of the Middle East. I'm going to assume the Palestinians won't be accepting that peacefully. But what say you? I'm going to assume that if we start building in Gaza, that area will be a target for terrorist attacks for the rest of our lifetimes. Literally for the rest of our lifetimes. And I don't care if you're just born today. For the rest of your life, that area will be the target of terroristic actions. Because there's no denying it will have been taken from them. That is stolen land. To bomb the area is one thing. But then to have Trump on television saying we're going to own it and the Palestinians are not allowed to return, it's stolen land. Now, once again, some folks are defending Trump by saying he didn't say they couldn't return and all of this stuff. You know, he's just going to fix it. He said it's uninhabitable for now. Do you think they have any reason to trust America or any leader in this country, knowing that the only reason their country got destroyed is because we gave the Israelis the weapons to do so? So making it sound like you're going to do them a favor by repairing their land, they're not going to buy that. And I don't think anybody should not understand why they wouldn't buy it. And even if Biden was saying it, it's not just a bash or a dig at Trump. They wouldn't buy it coming from any leader in this country after we supplied the weapons. Remember, they were calling Joe Biden Genocide Joe. So it ain't like Biden could get in there and say the same shit with different results. They wouldn't trust him either. So Trump making it sound like I'm going to turn your homeland into a palace and all this, it'll be great for you. They're not going to trust that. They're not going to trust when he say we're going to send you somewhere else that's nice. No, and you wouldn't expect them to trust that. So, as I said, it'll be stolen land, and that will be an area of contention for the rest of our lives. And keep in mind, if he's going to turn the Palestinian territory, if he's going to turn Gaza into what he refers to as the Riviera of the Middle East, do those folks look like they could afford to stay at the Riviera of the Middle East? So the whole notion that they're going to be able to come back is ridiculous. If he turns it into some posh, luxurious area and they're impoverished, then they're not going to be able to afford to come back there. So the whole idea makes no sense at all. If he does this, Trump is a businessman. He's known for developing luxurious, residences, luxurious hotels. This is not what the Palestinians have been dealing with. So, no, they're not invited back. It's crazy to even assume that that's the case. In fact, he's threatening the Jordanians and the Egyptians. If they don't take him, he's going to cut off federal funding to them. So it's a hostile takeover, whether you want to say it is or not. No new wars under President Trump. Now, he's also talking about potentially using the military to reestablish our ownership of the Panama Canal. Could do that overnight, I'm assuming. The Panamanians can't do much to stop the United States. We could do that with a small contingent of soldiers, take over the Panama Canal. Also, he's talking about Greenland. Sound like he's backed off on that one, so we won't continue pushing that, but he did once say the military was still on the table to do that. Canada, that thing is kind of fizzling out as well, making Canada the 51st state. The reason I'm asking, do you believe that we will have no new wars under Trump? It's simple. It's pretty clear in one way or another he intends to expand the size of the United States, to expand our territories, to expand our horizons. He's already expanded it into the Gulf of America. So it does sound like he's trying to, claim new lands, new territories, and that often comes with a fight. So let me know in the comments, do you think that we will remain at peace under Trump? If not, where do you think it's likely to break out? Where do you think we could possibly see U.S. boots on the ground out of all of the different regions Trump is discussing? Let your boy know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.